Hello and welcome to Live Coding Happy Hour. Welcome to the show brought to you by the ServiceNow Developer Program, where we unwind from the long week, we drink, we try to build something new. Instead of a well-polished demo, this is all about having a show where we just have fun, show the real development process, errors and bugs and all. Right now, we're in the middle of our Vancouver release. We're actually at the very start of our Vancouver release. And you'll notice that on the very top right of your video, where is it, Pranav? There it is. Pointing to it the right, yeah, that way, is the Vancouver logo. So if you see that, that means it's a quick indication that we are in Vancouver content. And that means everything that you're seeing with that logo is all about a release that just happened. We're in early availability as of last week. And so we're showcasing as many of the newest things. And that's what we're going to be doing today too. But before we jump into the content, we have a bunch of people on screen right here and we want to introduce ourselves. So let's do introductions. I'm Earl Duque. I am a senior developer advocate here at ServiceNow. I've been with the company for 2 years as of last week. And then before that, I was a developer for about 5 years before that, mostly in higher education, but across three different companies doing different development positions for ServiceNow. And I'll kick it over to Pranav.
Hi everyone, my name is Pranav and I'm also Senior Developer Advocate here at ServiceNow. And before starting in ServiceNow, I was working with a customer and was helping them with implementation. And that's about me. And I'll pass it to Ishaan.
Hello everyone. Myself Ishaan. I'm a certified technical architect working as a solution architect with EY. I've been in the industry for 8+ years now, and I've been with the platform for 5+ years. And yeah, it's quite a journey and enjoying how it's going. Over to you, Harneet.
Thanks, Ishaan, and thanks, Earl and Pranav, to having me. So my name is Harneet Singh Sital. I'm a certified technical architect. I work with Accenture at the moment. I've got about 8 years of experience on the platform, and I'm also a developer MVP. So it's pretty much about me.
Yeah, we actually, everybody on here has had the honor of being a developer MVP at some point. So that's our whole crew. Pranav and myself are no longer eligible to be developer MVPs anymore since we joined the company. But yeah, this is a crew of developer MVPs. So you're watching the right people, hopefully. Okay, so to explain the next part of our show, it's called Live Coding Happy Hour. So this is the first Live Coding Happy Hour of the season. So we want to explain why we call it that. And so the live coding is pretty obvious, but happy hour is because traditionally on this show, and this show goes back years and years, is that we are unwinding, right? And so usually we try to drink during this show just to make it lighthearted, make it even harder for the person that's leading the coding, and just make it a little bit more fun. It's right now for me it's 1:30 a.m. where I am, so I'm not going to be drinking. So I'm going to introduce my drink of water. Is what I'm drinking right now so that I can stay hydrated while I stay awake. I've been up for 20 hours if I didn't show that in the beginning, but that's because I want to be here. So Pranav, what are you drinking?
So today I'm drinking a different kind of drink. It's like a coconut water plus some salt and some lemon. So that's my drink because it's like it's a lot of heat going on. Heat wave is going on in Bangalore. So I'm drinking something to cool myself up. What are you thinking, Ishaan?
So usually I've joined the happy hours on Saturday mornings in the US time, and so today is the perfect time. It's around 6:30 p.m. for me on a Friday. So I've got a Scotch with cola for me, Hague Scotch with cola,
Ooh.
and it should be good enough. So let's see how it goes.
So I'm with Mohit today. I'm still on my office hours. It's still 9:30 here in the UK, so I'm just going with the good old Coke. I don't want to get drunk while on the show and then go back to being working on the production environment of my customer. So just a good old Coke for now.
It's funny. My first time ever appearing on Live Coding Happy Hour. This was 3 companies ago. I was invited the day before, and I showed up, and I was still in my office as just like a regular developer for the company. But I was like, Live Coding Happy Hour, I have to take this seriously. I snuck in a beer, and I was drinking in office space in the middle in the back of my company. It's like I have to keep to it. I had to do it. But that was my first one. Ishaan, my favorite. Usually, my drink of choice is like a cola mixed with like a bourbon or a whiskey. So, you
Nice.
job on that side. Okay, so that's drinks.
Thank you.
Ishaan actually brought up a good point. So right now, this episode, it's in a time where it's better for all of our people in Asia and the Pacific area in India, so that we can be more accommodating because we want to be able to chat with the people that are watching, chat with each other while doing these shows. And Pranav made a big push of like, hey, let's do shows at different hours throughout the day so that we can accommodate different places around the world. And that's the result of this. So hi to everybody waking up to this episode, but everyone joining us live, hey, jump in the chat with us. We love engaging with you all, and that makes the show all the more fun. All right, so that's drinks, that's intros. Pranav, what are we doing today? What is the topic?
All right. So today's topic is something like I think all developers will be interested in. It's access analyzer. So I'd like to ask the people who are watching us live and also who are reading the comments later on, like who are watching it later on. What do you guys think? How many times you have faced an issue when there was an ACL and you took like it took some hours to debug these things? Ishaan and Harneet, you are here. Like, what's your experience like? How was it for you guys?
Yeah, so it's been a pain, right? Like, they're testing it out, and yeah, maybe impersonating a particular user and then going back, and then elevating the to security admin to make the changes as required, and that doesn't stop there, right? So there are other things as well, so we don't get the right picture, like what's happening around. So yeah, let's see what we have got.
So Pranav, it comes at the right time because just yesterday I was having an issue analyzing what sort of ACL is causing an issue. So again, it was on the report list, so it doesn't quite come often as impersonating a user and you try and check out it. But then obviously this is what I was looking forward to in my environment. But again, we haven't upgraded yet, so yeah, it's definitely one of
Earl,
those
you
bits that would help us.
Earl, you had some comment.
Well, I mean, okay, so I see Drew in the comments saying, "Hey, it's ACLs. You just have to learn the tricks of the trade." And I'm sitting there like, "Well, yeah, but that's the problem. Like, they're tricks, and there's things to learn about it." I remember the first time I turned on all debugs, and then went to a record, and then saw the 800 lines of ACLs that it's with the circles and the check marks and the X's. I'm sitting there the first time I was like a junior or like a new dev, and I was like, what is this? This isn't intuitive at all. Like, why can't there be an easy way for me to understand who gets access to certain records or be able to configure it? And then all the fun of like the tricks of the trade for ACLs, right? Because I mean, we've run into these things. Who like the fact that it's like a rite of passage to find out that, oh, even if you press advanced or script off on an ACL, that the script still runs up to like 2 releases ago. Like, what? How would anybody know any of that kind of stuff? So there's, as much as we, maybe the people tuning into in the developer circle, understand ACLs, why does it have to be so complicated? Like, we're on a platform that makes it easy. Why aren't we making it easier?
Exactly. Earl, you brought up a good point, like who has access? Like when we are talking about ACL, we always think about this, who has access to what? And this is where access analyzer comes into picture. It gives you an idea of like who has access to what. So let's get into the instance and I'll show you like how this thing works. So let me share my screen. Let
Nice.
me know Earl, if my screen is visible. All right. So firstly, I'll go into the Access Analyzer application and let me open this up. To be honest, like I played with the application a bit when I was preparing for my Tech Now session, but this is my first time I'm trying lot of different things on this application. And maybe people who are watching us live or later on, you guys can also let us know some feedback in the comment if you feel like, yeah, this is something we can add or remove in this thing. So let it open up. So
So Pranav, while that
I
loads,
mhm.
uh, does it come out of the box with the platform when you have a Vancouver release, or is it a plugin that you need to put in on top of your platform?
It's a plugin that we need to install, and I think for the new Z-booted instance, I think it comes pre-installed. If you are like an old customer, you have to install a plugin for it. Good
Makes
question, Harneet. I think like yeah, I that's what I installed a plugin on this instance just to get Access Analyzer.
makes sense. Thank you.
All right. So this is the kind of the UI till the time the application navigator loads up. So this is the kind of the UI that you are able to see. Like here you have different options. I feel like you can analyze the user, role, group, or like role, user, and group, and then you have all these other things that you can add. So let's just like let's play around with it. I can just we'll put able tutor, which is our like favorite user for everyone, and I can just see like what kind of access Abel has on knowledge table.
I'm more of a Beth England kind of person.
Yeah. Let's click on analyze now and let's see like what kind of roles able tutor have, like whether he's able to even access the knowledge base or not. So let's see that. So you can see like able tutor is able to create, read, write all these knowledge bases, but he doesn't have this list editor. So that you can see like this is kind of a UI how it gives us like all the permission that a particular user have and what you can't do in it. So let's just validate it. Let's impersonate able tutor and see if he's able to create a knowledge base just to
I mean,
be
come on.
sure about.
That's so much pretty. That's so much prettier than the old debug screen. Come on.
Exactly. So here comes the point. Like this UI and everything will make it so much easier for the developers to debug ACL. You don't have to pull your hair out. So when you are debugging an ACL. So
Hey,
that
Pranav, real quick, we had Drew's in the chat, another Dev MVP, asking a question. So, Drew, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be able to do before query BRs. That's completely separate from this. But do you know if data filtration's in Access Analyzer?
yes, you can like as you can see on the right side, you have data filtration and access control. So you will be able to debug both
Oh,
data
cool, perfect.
filtration as well as access control. And for the query business rules, I when I was playing around with it, it also is able to find the query BRs for
Oh,
us.
okay.
So that's cool. That's the cool one. Now let's play around with it. Like I thought of some use cases. For example, let's go into our knowledge table, and you can see like right now I'm an admin. So let me open. So first thing is like let's try to see as I just saw like able tutor is able to create, read, write, and delete the knowledge bases. So let's go ahead and go into any kind of let's open a different article now. We saw he's able to read, write that, but let's play around with certain articles.
Yeah, and Daniel brings up a good point. If it's a knowledge base, does it hit user criteria also?
If it's a knowledge base, if
Well,
it
any place that uses user criteria.
I
So I guess
don't
knowledge base, service catalog can use user criteria too.
Yes, you are right about user criteria. I don't know. We can try this thing also in this show because
Yeah,
that's
sure.
what live coding RPR is about. We
Yeah,
can
throw a
play
user
around with
criteria
it.
with able in it.
Yes. Let's see. I can go ahead and yeah,
Well,
that's
show what you're gonna do first, and then we'll backtrack to that.
okay. So what I was thinking was like, as you can see, this is the article I've just logged in as admin, right? So let's see like what kind of like able tutor is the author, but as an admin, I'm able not able to edit this particular field. So let's see why I'm not able to edit this particular field. That's kind of a thing. So let's go back to the access analyzer and let's go to analyze permissions. So this might be an ACL thing, and let's see what can be thing. So I can just put like system administrator.
I know someone's gonna ask us, do you always have to go to this page to do this, or is there like a UI context menu that would bring us to this and fill out the forms?
Yeah, that's a good
Am I
question.
jumping ahead? I'll shut up. Sorry, my bad.
I think that's the second thing I thought of bringing up. You can also click on a particular record, right click on it, and you'll be able to see a UI action there so that you
Okay,
can do
my
that.
bad. I'll zip it. Let you go through it. My bad.
So
I'm just so excited.
yes, I know. Like when I saw it, like I was asking all the PMs, like, what's going on? And all they said, like, hold on, we'll show you everything. So you can see, like, firstly, I just put like user, then I put the what exactly is the user, then I selected a table. Now I can select any record. Like I can probably see which record it is. I can open it and let's see. So you
And
can
does
see it's go ahead.
yeah, does these records get stored as well? As in, like, when we click on analyze permissions,
I
does it?
think there is some kind of a, if we go into access analyzer, you can see there are access
Yeah.
analyzer queries
Okay.
that are there.
Right.
So they are saved. So now what we were looking for was a article body. Why we are not able to edit the article body? Let's click on analyze permission. You don't have to go through all these ACLs in the back end just to see what's going on. So here you can see, right? There are like two blocked one, right? You can see the write operation is blocked. Let's click on the write operation and see why it's blocked.
And just to verify, because someone asked, are you elevated to security admin right now?
So I'm not elevated to security admin right now because I'm just
Mm.
analyzing it.
Okay,
Right. Once I can probably like elevate it once I'm editing the ACLs and other things.
got it.
So that's the thing. So in this particular ACL, I'm not able to see like it's you can see like there is a business rule that's showing up. Like that's the reason why we are not able to edit. And there was another one. Let's go back. Permissions and see was the other one. So it will give you the list of all the places where it's blocked and why you are not able to edit a particular record. And also basically it solves 90% of your problem when you are dealing with access issues. That's what I can see. And there's another thing, right? Let's click on this create. Oh, this is the create one. I have to go into the right one. Did I open the right one before also? Let me
Do you know
see.
what role has access to the access analyzer? Is it just admin?
I think it will be admin plus you need to have a security admin role. That's these were the things that will be required for you to access this particular thing. But I think it's an admin one that's there. So like let's see why it's
And we've got some condition, like, instructions on the right as well. Presence of a script, access result
yes.
legend, which is, you
So
know,
that's an interactive view if you can see right on
mm,
this side you can see all these things where you can use this thing in data filtration ACLs and all these things. So let's firstly analyze this particular issue like why we are not able to edit it. Let's go back
This
to
is
the overview.
just I always like to point out. So whenever we see these newer pages and it has those that see all that stuff on the right side of just like we waste a lot of space on our forums. Like I'll be honest, like we waste a lot of space with how wide we put
Mm-hmm.
columns and stuff like that. To have that space over there filled with information you might need at a glance,
Mm-hmm.
I think is always a good user interface, user experience. And so I like to point that out to anybody that's a developer in ServiceNow because that is a good thing that we are making sure happens in most of our interfaces moving forward. And so when I see that kind of thing that's constantly like we're doing more and more of that as we release more, me as a developer, my mind immediately thinks I probably should get caught up with Seismic and React and custom components because the more you know about that stuff, the more you'll be equipped in the future for that kind of thing that's showing up on those sites so that you can start making your own. So that's what my mind goes to.
Yep, yep, exactly, Earl. And I'm just side by side trying to see like why system admin is not able to edit that particular field. So maybe it's like I'm an admin, so that ACL is not showing up. So what I'm trying to do now is like I'll try to do with a different user, like why for a particular record that particular user is like let's take a different user this time, and I can just say article body and let's click on analyze access. Let's
I
see.
like that it's I wouldn't have thought that they would have been logging the past queries just because I would have thought this was all runtime stuff. But the fact
Mm-hmm.
that they're logging it means like, oh, as a person auditing security, it's easy to tell if someone was looking up other people.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And you can see right now we are able to find a particular ACL which says like write is blocked. So you can see this ACL came up. So that's the thing for when we are testing with an admin role, because maybe this there might be a bug or something. Even if it's like admin overrides is equal to false, it's not showing in the list. So, but when I tried with a different user, I'm able to find couple of things like why this particular thing is blocked. So you can see it came up with two ACLs that are there. Let's open these things up.
I like how descriptive it is. It's like, oh, condition? Oh, maybe. Roles? No. Scripts? Yeah.
And
Be
even Earl, if you look into this side, it's even telling us like this is a customizable script. This is a customized script, right?
oh yeah,
So it
customized ACL.
yes, it's telling us all these things like it's a customized one, and it's like maybe that's kind of an issue. And
So
in
that
the
you could
future,
quickly know if you broke it or somebody or ServiceNow broke it.
yes, that's the beauty of access analyzer. And what I have also observed is like now there is a future video that will be coming on security attribute which will solve the complex ACL scripts, but I won't talk about it now, but in a future video I'll talk about that. So let me elevate role. Now it's time for me to elevate role just to because I'm in the ACL and it's loading up.
Magic.
Hey, Ishaan and Harneet, this is your opportunity to fill in the space while things load.
Mm.
Yeah, so magic happens around, right?
Yeah, magic is going on like when we so you can
So I
see
was just
like it's
thinking around
sim.
this.
Go ahead.
Sorry for that. So Pranav, I was just thinking about this from an AES perspective as well, right? So if it's actually fits in somewhere around the App Engine Studio when you're building new ACLs, trying to again, if you're building a new custom application altogether, this is one of those applications that would really help to see if your ACLs that you've created are they working or not. But
Yeah,
restricting it to
exactly.
admins and security admins to do
Yep.
them in the platform, I think it
It's
might.
exactly like I can say like this can work with anything, whether you have developed any custom application or out of the box stuff or global stuff. So it will work with everything. So yeah, we are into the particular ACL. You can see right. It's like why we were not able to edit this particular thing. That record was because admin overrides is not checked, and it's a custom ACL. It's saying like if I'm the author, then it will allow me to edit this particular article body field. If I'm not the author, it won't allow me. So that's the reason. Let's make it admin overrides equal to true. And now I'll go back to the article and see if I'm able to edit that article body field, because I'm an admin right now. So let's see. This is the one. Let's refresh it.
Yeah.
Wait, so are we testing? Okay, because that's a very niche question, I guess. If I'm running Access Analyzer as an admin and it's hitting an ACL that has admin override on it, is it ignoring the fact that I'm asking for a user but I have admin and that ACL has admin override? Will it pass or will it fail?
Yeah, that's what's happening. Like even if it's admin override, it's not checked. If it's false, it's not showing in the Access Analyzer
Oh,
because we
that's
have
so
the
good. That's so much better because there's times where you go and debug it and you realize you've been overriding the ACL the entire time as an admin.
yes, yep, exactly.
That's good.
That
Okay.
that's there, and now you can see we are able to edit this particular article body even as an admin. Now let's try something different. So I like to ask the audience who is watching us, or if you're watching us live or if you're watching later, what is the major difference between an ITL role and ITL admin role? Maybe Ishaan or Harneet, you can answer this thing,
That's
or anyone.
incredible. So yeah, we can delete the records. I think incidents, and that's one difference that I know. And
Exactly.
yeah,
That's a major difference. Like ITL admin can delete a particular record and ITL users can't delete something. So let's confirm that thing using Access Analyzer. So rather than now you can go by analyze by role, and you can just put like ITL here, and just put it here. You can just let's make it a table for incident. Like we can choose any table, incident, change, problem, and let's analyze it. So it will give us like what this role can do.
also, like, can we add that admin override? Oh, we have that. We can customize this list view. Okay, nice.
Yep. You can see, right? This is the one. Now you can able to write, read, and create records on incident table, but you can't delete it. That's the thing. And let's see like about uh like let's go ahead and see for ITL admin. So let's go into a role and I can say ITL admin. Similarly, let's do change this time because ITL role lets you go into any incident, problem, change, all these things. Change request table. Let me just do analyze permissions.
Pranav, very quick questions. I think I've been seeing the description field coming up on the Access Analyzer landing page. So does it actually search with the descriptions over the ACLs, or is it just a
Oh,
Or is
description
that just for
addition to?
saving it? Is that just saving it for the query so that you know what you were doing?
Okay,
yep.
I don't know.
got it.
I'm asking.
So, Honey, can you point me where you saw that one? I
On your landing
actually,
page, yeah, the overview.
Yeah,
oh,
go
yeah,
back to Access Analyzer.
yeah. Let's go back there.
There's a description field. What is that for?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That might be like when you are because these records are getting stored, so you can add your own description there.
Yeah, scroll down.
Or
Okay, yeah, so it's blank. It's basically saying, I'm running. Oh, so this is great for audit, right?
yes,
Why did you look up this person's access? Well, it's because
Yeah.
according to this ticket, I needed to verify this bug, and I was given permission to scan access for this person. Okay, this is important, and that's a good question. And good pointing out. For like all these things have purpose, right? So, a funny story. I used to work for the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA. And UCLA has a very large hospital attached to it. Very famous, very important, big hospital on the west coast of the states. At one point, a very popular celebrity, I won't name who, was admitted to the hospital. A very popular music star. And then all the people on campus decided to go into the systems database and look up that person's information, just because like, oh, they got checked into the hospital, that means they're in our records database. That's a security violation on HIPAA, and all like it was like 50 people were just fired straight, like no questions. They violated a security policy, and so it's important that if you have a that kind of information that needs to be audited, that might be audited in the future, that's the description field. Like, don't run access analyzer. Your team needs to know that anybody that has admin and utilizes this tool must be justified in why they're using it, and please provide a description of why you're doing it. So that is anything security. That seems to be why they're including more ways to make sure we know what is happening, and that's why it's being tracked and watched.
Yep. Thanks, Earl, for this explanation. Like, yeah, sometimes I have to go through all these regulatory things. Like, this is something like I always miss. I need to check these things out. Yep. And let's move into another use case. So I thought of like, let's create a custom field like on the form that's like steps to reproduce the issue. And let's create some custom ACL and see like what will happen. So if we want to create an ACL, let's elevate our roles. And so the use case will be like if you are an assigned to person, if you are assigned to a particular incident, then you will be able to edit this particular field. This is just a use case that I thought I'll show you guys. Let's see. So first thing is let's go into ACL. So if you are assigned to, then you will be able to uh, edit this particular thing. Let's assign it to able tutor. We can impersonate this person and let's save it. So incident number 9009. That's the thing.
Number is changed to AC. So I think
Hmm. Oh yeah,
what
this.
happened there?
Yeah, it was not a read only. It was a not a. It was a read only equal to false thing, right? So it just got edited. So I think I can just change
Yeah,
that. So it's a. I just got this instance to show you guys access analyzer. So let's go to ACL and let's create a ACL for that particular field on the incident table. Let's click on new. I clicked on new. It takes like 10-15 seconds. People who have seen the ACL table, you guys know that's then let's put the operation equal to right because we want that right thing and let's see. So let's go to incident and I can say steps to reproduce the issue. That's there. And for let's add a script. So this script will be simple. It will be like current or assigned to. If you are assigned to person, then it will answer equal to true, else it will return equal to false. I'm just writing a script for this for now, and you can see that it's adding the ACL. Let me click on continue.
So, Pranav, while it does that, do we have an option to actually create ACLs from the Access Analyzer console itself rather than coming into the ACLs module and then creating it from here?
No, we don't have that kind of thing. That UI is only to access to
Analyze.
analyze the access. But if you want to create any ACL, you have to come back to this list itself. And I
Makes sense.
don't see a point like should be created from there. Like it's kind of a similar thing. Maybe just to make the UI a bit cleaner, they kept it the ACL creation to where it is right now. So yeah,
Makes sense.
let's we are able to now we have created this particular ACL and I'm gonna just go to any incident and I'm gonna
Right.
assign it to able tutor. Let's see what happens. This is the ACL. Let's 904 able tutor. Let's do that. And let me just impersonate it to able tutor.
Hey,
So
while that's loading, we had a question. Is there we know that the queries are saved whenever you run them in Access Analyzer, but can you rerun those queries from the save?
yes, I think like we have a reanalyze button
Oh,
that's
cool.
there, which I just saw. Let's explore it. So I just saw that while playing around with it.
My
So
job is to distract Pranav into different tangents all night. That's all I'm doing.
let's see like after this what we can do. So you can see like able tutor is there. Oops, I assigned a 904 like which is a closed one. So let's open any new one. Let's see if able tutor is not assigned to this particular thing, and still it's like you can see that it's not able to edit this particular field because able tutor is not assigned to this particular incident. Right, like this we just created this thing, so let's see now in access analyzer how it will look like. So I can go ahead and copy this particular incident number, and let me firstly save it and see if what will happen. You can see now we are able to edit. So now what we're gonna do is like we'll try to see the same use case in access analyzer and see what the results come up, and then I'll also show you the reanalyzing thing also. So I showed you, for people who are wondering like why I went and impersonated able tutor and all, I just wanted to show you a comparison how you are currently doing things now. Like when you give a role, then you impersonate a user and all, see whether he or she is able to edit the particular record or not. But now with access analyzer you don't have to do all these things. You can just simply come here and just put a user, for example able tutor is there, put table here, incident. Oops, what happened? It just refreshed. Computer. Tutor. We can do incident table, and we'll just put this particular record, and we can see steps to reproduce. So let's analyze this thing up. And let me analyze this particular thing.
And the good
One
thing
thing,
is,
go
yeah,
ahead. Go
the
ahead,
good thing
Ishaan.
is like until we select a field on that form, like it doesn't populate unnecessary ACLs while analyzing. So
Yeah,
that's the field level ACLs only come through when we have selected a particular field. So makes it more cleaner.
exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
And you can see like we are able to see like there is a right ACL that's there. Let's click on it, and let's see. So you can see that we have this particular ACL that's passed, and it shows equal to yes. Now this is the custom ACL. Why it passed for this particular record? Because able tutor was the assigned person. Now let's use like for example, let's do a reverse testing. What will happen if it's assigned to someone else? And let's go back to the overview. One thing I think like that's my personal feedback is like when I click on the breadcrumbs icon, if I go back to the analyze permission, I have to fill the form again. This is something like if it should be pre-populated with exactly what we were doing, like so that it's easier. We don't have to go ahead and fill all these fields again. Maybe I can check why with the PMs, like why it was like this. And I'll do incident again. And now instead of doing that record which was 811, I'll do some different record, and I'll just put like steps to reproduce the issue, and let's analyze it. And this time like it should fail. You can see that like we are not able to write it, it's blocked. And Yeah, it's not showing that. Maybe like let's use the same incident, but let's reassign that incident to some other person. So let's go here and we'll analyze the same incident, but let me just remove and let me put someone else. It's loading up. Let's see.
Nice.
Well, that happens. I think there's a fair comment from through. So what if it just does the, I mean, we put up the queries right on top of the form and then it shows all the ACLs below it. That would, allow us not to go to the next page and then come back again, use a saved query and then rerun. But if the list just comes right on the same page, I think obviously it helps out.
Yeah, maybe that's
Good point.
a good call out. Yeah. Maybe I can note this thing up. We can share it with the PM so that some kind of pop-up will show up where the query is there. So we click on it and it takes us back to the query. Yeah, that's the thing. So let's go back to the incident thing and let me just do it and then let me just
You could have
set some
showed us the
schedules.
reanalyze button, buddy.
Yeah. Mm.
Right? You're looking at the same exact thing, right?
Sorry, Earl, what you said?
Aren't we just reanalyzing the same thing from before? That was your opportunity to show off the reanalyze button.
Oh, yeah, I think I missed that. But yeah, you can see that reanalyze button is here.
Yeah, there
Let's
it is.
click on reanalyze it. And it will be similar, but if you change certain things in the backend, it might change directly. So it's doing the reanalyze thing here
Oh,
itself.
so we can keep this on one tab and then change the record on the other one and just keep hitting reanalyze.
Yep. Yes, we can do that. We can try this thing up maybe. Like you can see right now, it's right is equal to blocked because able tutor is not assigned to this particular incident. I can do is like let's open this particular ACL particular incident and what I can do is like I can probably assign it back and then click on reanalyze. So it should be like right equal to past. Let's see.
So another thing that I can see on that form is an export. So just in case someone, the user comes back, I cannot see that field or I cannot see that incident. We can just export and give that list Excel to them quickly, right? So here's the thing, right? Like that's why it's not working for you.
Yeah,
So
I know.
maybe like go ahead, Earl.
I was waiting for you to hit the reanalyze button. Should pass now, right?
Let's see, it's reanalyzing it. And it's still blocked, but let's click on it one more time. Oh, maybe
Is it the right
this is
incident?
yeah, it's a right incident. It's passed in this one. Maybe we are looking at the wrong ACL or something. You can see it's passed here, but let's try this thing again. So this is passed, and I have to just click on the right ACL because I'm not sure. Maybe it's like getting all the ACLs from the parent tables also. Let's click.
and it shows that in yellow every time, as in when we have
Yeah.
got a script and pass, even it's passed, we should get that
So
in a.
this is the one basically like this is the one that we should be looking at, and I don't see anything like. Let me just we can put some queries. I think let me see if oh we can't put some queries here. Like okay.
Actually,
Yeah, I thought like I'll just put a query something like just for this particular thing. Just show me the right ones only. So, but
Does the
anyway,
right clicks work like show
no,
matching and okay? I
no,
see
that
the three
doesn't work.
dots just besides
Yeah,
the
what about the
operations.
3 dots?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see what's there. So, like,
Oh, yeah, you
yeah,
can filter it.
nice.
yeah, we can put it like right now. What are past? and we have all these things passed, and I think we have how many records that are there. So let's see. I can do something like which are skipped also.
Can you hit the three dots next to a value?
This one?
Go down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Oh,
any of the three dots meant there. Yeah. Yeah, show matching. There you
ah,
go.
Ah,
Fair.
the thing. It's there. Let me just do show matching on right also.
That's what he said like 5 minutes ago.
So now, like, yeah, we have two past one for this particular incident, and now let's assign it to someone else and see what will happen.
angry young man.
This is there. Let's go back to
Real.
analyzer and let's reanalyze it and see what will happen. Does it do real time or does it do something like, oh, let's click on these and see. It's showing past. It's yeah, it's not doing real time. Maybe it's taking some time to add that. Oh, maybe it's like skipping. No, it's like I was just seeing like why this particular thing is there. It's because like it contains a script and all, and it is passing that. So I think like we might need to create a query again just to see why it didn't work in this way. Let's see. So this is the incident. I'm on the right incident, and ACL. This it's saying that it's passed, but maybe it's not real time. That's the thing. It might take some time, or it might be session based, right? Like I need to just close it and then restart all these things.
Hey,
That might be the thing.
hey, it
Might
wouldn't be security debugging if we didn't get confused by the interface at least a couple of times, right?
exactly. Yeah,
It's like
that's
tradition
also
now at this point.
yes. But still, it's like way too simple compared to like how we are using the current UI and all to debug all these things. Because ACLs are always complicated, I can say. Like, and for everyone who has worked with ACL, they know that this UI will at least help them solve 90% of the issues. Like 10%, you have to go through all these records and see what's going on. So let's see again.
Yeah.
Incident. I'm gonna put it this one and steps to reproduce.
And it's
Now
not
let's
just
see.
about the ACLs, right? It's also like you need to go through the business rules on that table or something else, data filtration, like quite a few places to look at. So
Yeah,
and giving back the result of almost, I did see a business rule thing also pop up in the list.
yeah. It gave you everything here, business rules and everything. So now you can see that a write operation is blocked for now. So I think it's like for like you have to recreate the record. If you reanalyze it, it's kind of not working. So now you can see it's blocked. And
That's the
right.
fun part of live coding happy hour. Besides the fact that we learn by hitting walls, we get to bring these back to the people that are in charge of the product and say, "Hey, explain, please."
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I need to check with the product manager. I'm just trying it one more time because it's better to try a couple of times before I go to them. Like I assign it back to able tutor, and this time the write operation is blocked, and I'm gonna just do a show matching here. It's blocked, and I'm just gonna do a reanalyze. And you can see, right? It says that like you have that thing still blocked,
So
and oh, I think I'm opening the old record. Maybe what's happening is like you can
it
see
failed.
if you see timestamp, it's putting the old records as well as the new queries together.
It's basically
So
creating a new access result, I guess, for every
yes,
like,
every analyze, but it's not
yeah,
mentioning. That's why I was getting confused. Now you can see that it's passed. Basically, it's working, but
yeah.
it's like it's every time I click on reanalyze, let's click on one more time, it will create another third record there. Yeah, you can see that it's passed. That's the thing. I just saw the timestamp
Um,
and then I realized this particular thing. So it's working. It's like doing in the session itself and telling us everything. That's great about this particular product. And I think like that's pretty much it that I like to show in this. And let's go back to the access analyzer. This last thing that was there, like user role and group. So let's see like how it will work with the group if we say like cab approval. What access cab approval will have on incident table. Let's check that. Change advisory board, impact on incident table. Let's see.
That's good because that's not an easy thing to test in the old debugging interfaces
Exactly.
by group
You
and by
can,
role.
yes. And you can see, right, like cab approval group has create, read, and write access on the incident table itself. So it's super easy, I can say. Like, I just wanted, like, this is my personal thing while working with this thing is like, for example, if I'm doing group and I'm saying like cab, cab approval, oh, cab approval, I'm putting like, I have to put a table here. Like I want to see like what roles this particular group has, like what kind of tables and all these things if I can get the list. Let me see if I can click. No, it's asking, it's a mandatory field. So that might be a good feature for the developers. Like if they just select the group and they don't have to select a particular table, they will just run it and see like what all tables in ServiceNow this particular group have access to rather than going into the list of all the roles and seeing those things. Maybe
Oh,
that's the thing.
it even has REST API endpoints. It had the
Yes. Client
mhm.
callable UI script, like how we have all these things in ACLs. When we create an ACL, we see UI pages,
right,
REST
yeah.
endpoint, client callable script include. So all these things are showing up here. I think this like this is a very powerful feature. Like I played with it a bit. Now during this show, I'm playing a bit more and I'm seeing like it has so much potential. And this is just like the first release of this product. So I'm like thinking what will come in future. That would be great.
Yeah.
So
So okay. Yep.
That's a good question. I do want to ask this one because that's a good question from Daniel. Um, uh, were any wildcard entries in? Where was wildcard.wildcard? Were those ones? I only saw the actual CRUD ones. So right, delete, um,
mhm.
edit, view, edit. What about all the other generic ones?
Yeah, I think the wildcard ones also show like I can share my screen again. Or you can add it once again. Let's see that if we can see any wildcard ones. So I can say user. I
Just open
can
up a
go to,
previous one.
Yeah, that will
yep,
be a good example. So we'll also have a look at.
yes. Let's open this able tutor one. And because wildcard entries, like I was thinking to put it for task table. You'll be able to find some more.
Oh
So
yeah.
you can, so basically it's grouping them like create, read, write, because these are our operations, and inside of these things are basically the wildcard, right? So I'm just if I click here, so you will be able to see some star ACLs like star field. You can see these kind of wildcards. I
Okay.
think then in
Okay.
this,
It's just one screen deep. Cool.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's there, and
Whoa.
uh,
Ah.
So that's pretty much it. Like I wanted to show an Access Analyzer. Hope you guys got some idea about Access Analyzer about it. And there is another powerful feature that's a security attributes, which there will be a video that will be coming up in couple of days. So I would recommend you guys to watch that also. If you combine both these things, I think it's like a really, really powerful thing in securities that ServiceNow has brought up in Vancouver release. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome.
Over.
Nice.
Sweet. So
Like,
before we do drinks and rate our drinks, a couple of housekeeping items. Thank you for all of you that has been chatting. The chat has been great. You we didn't get to every question, but hopefully we got to as many as we could. We love to see an active chat, so thank you for hanging out with us and chatting. Outside of that, again, we're in the middle of Vancouver. If you're interested in looking at what else we are doing in Vancouver, all you have to do is go to devlink/sn.vancouver/Vancouver, which I'll show on the screen. There you go, devlink.sn/Vancouver, and you'll see all the different shows that we're doing. You're watching this on YouTube right now. Go to our YouTube channel, and you'll see all of our upcoming shows also, and our previous shows. The other show that we do on our YouTube channel, well, we actually have a few shows. The other Vancouver show that we do on our channel is called Creator Toolbox. If this show is happening on a Friday, Creator Toolbox usually happens on a Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on what time zone you're on. And that one is more of a straightforward demo, usually a prepared demo, sometimes with slides, and we bring in product managers usually to present those kind of things. And so it's like a good dive into specific features. And then this show is we try to break it basically and try to have fun with it and try to explore different parts of it the way we would use it as developers. So those are the two different kinds of shows based off of the Vancouver release. If you don't have a Vancouver instance yet, make sure to go to developer.servicenow.com, log in, request a Vancouver instance or upgrade your instance to Vancouver so you can start playing with it. What else do we have announced? That's the main stuff. Anybody else want to plug anything?
I think you can check out the content calendar. So you might bring it up on the screen. The content calendar that Lauren has created, so it has all the content that will be coming up for the Vancouver release. I can share a link in the comment section for everyone.
This one I already devlinked.
Oh.
I showed it.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so at this point of the show, if this is the first time you're tuning in to Live Coding Happy Hour, this is where we go around and rate our drinks. We usually rate our drinks out of a 5-point scale in increments of 0.25. Usually, if there's a success, we add a 0.25 as a yay, we did the drinks helped us kind of thing. So I think we saw a lot of cool stuff and solved some problems in this one. So I'll call it a success. I'm drinking water. It's 5. All right, Pranav.
I can say I was not able to drink the whole glass, but it's I can say it's 5 out of 5. It's refreshing at least. Ishaan?
Yeah, so even I was not able to drink the whole of it as of now. So I would give it 3.54, not a 5. Yeah.
I was able to finish it, but I would give it 4.5 of this. It's got just too much sugar in it. I'm having the original taste, not the diet one. It's definitely good.
All right, Pranav, thank you for showing us Access Analyzer. Ishaan and Harneet, thank you for joining us for commenting and just hanging out with us. Everybody in the audience, thanks for joining us. See you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a nice weekend.